So going forward to the future, we turn to the next subject, which is touching this subject as well. I think all of them are touching each other's, but we go to we will go deeper into the question of AI as a benefactor, and this question has been highlighted with a collaboration with the Luleå University of Technology. So in the present day world, innovative solutions are crucial, and AI has risen a potentially very powerful assistant. Since the launch of ChatGPT, a large language model, in late November 2022, the general public has transitioned from perceiving AI as a futuristic concept to realizing the very true potential that AI possesses. And it has developed into a groundbreaking computer science field with applications ranging from powering voice assistants to enabling self-driving cars. In today's world, it's not anymore a futuristic dream, but it's actually shaping our society as we speak. But as it gains prominence, it also has raised a lot of concerns and worries. It touching issues related to privacy, ethical decision-making, and the potential for job displacement and democracy. And in this context, the United Nations conducted a study in 2022 to voice the thoughts of young people around the world regarding AI. And the report showed that 76% of young people are concerned about the risks of AI, but 86% expressed a will and an interest to collaborate with an AI in the future. So there are both the risk and the possibilities. So given these considerations, how can AI be used to benefit research and development? And I look to you, and maybe to start, Mariana.
Personally, I think AI is a great tool for paraphrasing. Sometimes it's really hard for me to put my thoughts into cohesive professional sentence, and AI is good at paraphrasing, so I've used it for that, and I feel like it helps put my thoughts into nice phrases. It can help us in for instance, assistance with some courses. Of course, we need to double check it because AI can make mistakes and does make mistakes a lot. And it's our responsibility to check what it says, if it's true or not. And I think personally, I think we shouldn't look at it as this crazy, dangerous entity. It's not. It can be there to help us, and there's no denying that it's here. So we might as well use it to help us and accompany it instead of denying it or not using it. Yeah.
So it's here, and we have to use it.
We don't have to, but we could. We can. There's beneficiencies in using it.
But do you also see some worries or
overusing it? Not thinking anymore, just doing whatever AI says. We still need to use our brains. Our brains is the most important part of research, of ourselves, of anything, and we shouldn't put all our trust in AI, but by double checking, by looking elsewhere, then we can make sure that we're looking at the better source of information that we can.
So a good combination.
A good combination is mandatory in my view.
Yeah. Daniel, do you want to add something?
Yeah, so I think one sort of thing we should consider when using AI, especially in research, when it can be a really, really good tool when prompted correctly to write code and streamline processes that a lot of researchers go through. The way that the algorithms are built and the information that they're built off of to make predictions can be flawed, and we might not know it. So really making sure that we understand the limitations of various scientific findings today and how they can impact the findings that algorithms make on their own is definitely a big consideration and sort of one drawback that needs to be sort of thought about more, I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Professor Bawendi, Do you see possibilities to use AI in your research?
So we started using machine learning algorithms a few years ago to speed up the acquisition of experimental data and also for its analysis, and it's incredibly powerful. And I think that any research group that doesn't think about using some sort of machine learning or AI in their work is going to be left behind. So it's an extremely powerful tool that with supervision can really speed things up, speed up the progress of science. It's unfortunate that it's called intelligence because it's not particularly intelligent. It's an amazing tool, but we need to understand its purpose and where it can go wrong. And I think that as the more we use it and more we understand the possibilities, we'll be more comfortable as a society to use it. Right now it feels a little scary because a lot of it is that it hasn't been around as a tool for so long. But so I'm optimistic that that it'll have a positive impact.
But you don't foresee that you will have a lab consisting of AI colleagues instead of students?
Not at all. The human brain is so far ahead of anything that we've created on an algorithm on the computer. The creativity of my students is unparalleled with anything that comes out of a computer so far. I don't see a change of that for a long, long time. So I'm not worried about that.
So we don't see an AI laureate next year. We don't hope so.
I don't think so.
Max or Marion, or you want to add something in this?
Yes, I would like to say that I agree with everything that has been said so far. But I would also add that I think, especially when using AI, is extremely important for us to stay so critical, because this is operating like a black box, and we cannot take everything that comes out like a universal truth. So I think, hinting at what Mariana was suggesting, I think making sure that every single conclusion that we reach through AI has been rethought several times by us. And so putting this aside, I've also used a lot of AI in my research. So it's actually used a lot in genome editing for the prediction of what is called the guide RNA. And I think it's so powerful in the sense that the processes which can be automated, and that it's more like the technical consideration, and on the technical end, it can help us do it so fast. And I think as researchers, that puts us in a very advantageous situation, in the sense that because it can integrate so much data and it can do so many things that logistically, like us as persons, cannot do, this gives us the space to actually think the bigger questions. So we can use AI for very particular problems and like technical considerations, and we can keep our brains for putting the question in perspective.
So it's really speeding up things. So will there be enough of researchers to keep up with this speeding up? You know, the AI will be so quick to getting all the data, and there needs to be these human researchers that can think about all the data that comes up. You think there will be a lack of researchers? I'm looking at you, Mariana.
I mean, hopefully we'll have many researchers come out of here today, but I think as long as we have curiosity, there will be researchers. As long as you want to keep learning, and I think we should keep learning in general with our lives, there's always going to be researchers, there's always going to be people wanting to do more, wanting to learn more. So I don't think there will be a lack of researchers. I think we might have new fields or new parts in each field, like that's grow because of AI, or something that we weren't thinking now is a great field. Like as science grows, new fields come, new fields disappear a bit. So I think it has a great potential, and I don't think it will replace humans either. Absolutely.
So all of you from,
If I can elaborate a little bit, I would like to add on to the previous points raised about one of the limitations of AI. So it was mentioned that the results given by AI might not always be correct and that you always have to check it. But if you look at the other side of AI, the production, right? AI is essentially what happens when you run a bunch of data through an algorithm and train it. But sometimes within that data, you also need to check for certain biases, right? I can give one example, which would be in medicine. If you're training an AI to gauge how people might respond to a certain treatment, for example, you will definitely want to look whether your data set includes people of different genders and different ethnicities. Otherwise, it may not be applicable to everyone, and you may get a wrong result from it. So making sure that our data sets are inclusive and consider a lot of different possibilities, I think, is also important when trying to develop accurate AI.
So the biases of the AI, that what is there as an information basis, it's really important that it's diverse and that everyone and everywhere is represented in the data.
Yes, the algorithm can't have a bias, but the data can.
Exactly. Talking about that and having bias, then, because all of you then in different areas see that there is a potential to use the AI to speed up, to get more information, to search for new data in a way that's not possible to do on your own. Is there a specific challenge for the future that you see that you would really like to be AI to be involved and to be able to solve? Yeah, Daniel.
So I think relating back to climate change that we talked about earlier is one issue that I think could be addressed in a new way through AI. And so one recent innovation was by Google's DeepMind, and they recently published an algorithm where they can more accurately and better predict sort of weather trends over time than previous algorithms that relied on physics-based equations. So instead of using those previous equations, they just use past data to predict future trends. And I think that that can be really, really helpful in sort of putting energy and time into addressing various aspects of climate change that we didn't previously consider, and also prepping for the future when climate change does play out and causing various weather-related issues, that we can have resources in areas that AI algorithms might predict be most effective, whether that be things like sea level rise or having more intense storms or something like that. And another issue in the future that it could be really useful for is in biomedicine, and especially with future pandemics, predicting how various pathogens might evolve and whether we can use AI to sort of preemptively design new vaccines for emerging infectious agents. And especially I think it could have been good in COVID if we could have known how the spike proteins could have evolved, for example, and design our vaccines sort of proactively to address future variation. I think those could be two really big issues that AI could be useful in solving.
Thank you. Pandemic and climate change. Professor Bawendi, do you have something that you would dream for AI to help you to solve or to help humanity to solve?
I don't have anything in particular. I think that AI can be powerful in so many areas of our lives and in society that, yeah, it's like asking, who's your favorite child? Yeah, it's all our big problems. I think we can have a role with AI to help us solve it.
Yeah. So concluding that part, I think as we hear, we really need to have both human and AI together. So again, for all of you, it's really important to learn how to pose the question to the AI to be able to get the good answer, and to also to understand the answer that you get and how to use that. That's really what I hear from you, and that you think this is something that really is a very big help to solve the big problems we are facing, and also what everyone touching all the fields we are having.